This is Kameshwari from Nalla Narasimhareddy Education Society Group of Institutions. My subject Watershed Management final year first semester R18 regulation. In that watershed management, unit 1 discussed. In that unit 1, today topic is basic data required for the watershed management. Basic data required for the watershed management. What is the basic data? The first one is geology. How to influence on a geology, the data required for geology. Geology in a watershed includes the local and residential structure, formation, types of rocks, stratigraphy of rock type, nature of rocks, soil and other geological resources. It includes the local and regional structural formation like type of rocks and rock types, name of nature of the rock type and nature of the rock, soil and other geological resources. And next one is topography. It includes the land features. It includes the land features, especially the physical features of the earth surface, that is the elevation and position of the natural and man-made features such as trees, buildings, trees, streams, forest, water bodies, vegetation, snowfields, etc. The elevations and positions of the natural features are streets, buildings, streams, water bodies and vegetation. And next one is soil. Generally soil consists of two types, causal soil and causaless soils. It includes the type of soil in the watershed area like alluvial soil, laterite or red soil, black cotton soil or mountain soil. It is divided into two types, causal soil or causaless soil. Soils are include the type of soil include in that particular area like alluvial soil, this type of soil. And the next one is groundwater resources. The groundwater resources are, it includes the quality of groundwater from deep wells and subsurface aquifers. And the next one is subsurface water resources. Subsurface water resources, it includes the related to the water bodies like water courses, drainage basins, sub-basins, water quality, etc. These are the, it is related to water bodies. Water body, water courses, basins, drainage basins, sub-basins and water quality. This type of comes under basic data required for the watershed. And environmental, next one is environmental sensitive area. In this environmental sensitive area, it related to the slopes, agricultural lands. So environmental like forest, floodplains, slopes, agricultural lands and mines. Environmental means trees, water maybe. So it includes the wetlands, floodplains, slopes, agricultural lands and mines. These are the basic data required for the watershed. And also land use, we can use land in different ways, either roadways, railways and commercial building, commercial and industrial, transportation, agricultural, water bodies. In different ways we can construct the buildings and industries, roadways, land can, we can utilize different ways. And water quality condition, what are the water quality conditions? Water consists of a different features. It consists of a that parameter. It includes the parameters such as dissolved oxygen, pH, conductivity, temperature, turbidity, and dissolved nutrients. Generally, these features we can determine in our environmental lab. We can determine the dissolved oxygen. Water consists of a different water will be polluted with different fertilizers. It is come from the industries or agriculture, all household waste also it includes the some of the pollutants, and these are all directly pumped into the undergrounds, and then underground water will be polluted. So that's why water quality condition we can some of the parameters in the area of watershed areas we can know the water quality parameters. That parameter include the dissolved oxygen, pH, turbidity, phosphate, and fertilities. These are all comes under water quality conditions. And climate conditions generally it consists of refers to the average weather such as temperature, wind pattern, precipitation of that region. Either precipitation will be more or less, and sunshine, humidity, evaporation in the region. Changes in the climate can impact the hydrological process in a watershed. Climatic parameter impact the hydrological property process of a watershed, especially in the region where snow melt and evapotranspiration is the main component of the water budget. Some areas with high humidity, in that areas evaporation losses will be more. And socio-eco, and third one, last one is socio-eco conditions. This socio-eco condition related to the population, occupation status, and demographic, employment pattern, social values, and health condition, farm protection, farming system, and land use pattern, employment, non-farm employment opportunities, infrastructure needs, possibilities, and development. The data mentioned above helps to evaluate the condition of watershed and to access the environmental issue that can affect the watershed and take appropriate action for this development. So these are the data used for the condition evaluation. With the help of this data, uh, we can know the what are the different types of conditions available in that area, and then take appropriate conditions and measurements and implement and development of a watershed. What are the different basic data required for the watershed management is one is geology. One is geology. The geology it includes the type of rocks and nature of the rock and soil and geological properties. And the topography means like slope, buildings in that area. It includes streets, buildings, streams, water bodies, snowfield, etc. And soil, this soil consists of a two types, either Kozu soil or Kozu soil. Includes the Kozu or Kozu-less soil. That the examples of these different types of soils are alluvial soil, lateral soil, and red soil, black cotton soil, and mountain soil. And next one is groundwater resources. It yeah, the quality of groundwater from water bodies and subsurface aquifers. And subsurface water resources are, what are the different types of subsurface water resources? We already know that water bodies, drainage conditions, basins, sub-basin, these are the subsurface water sources. And environmental issues, like it includes the wetlands, flood, agricultural lands, and mines. And next one is land use patterns. That land use patterns, we can know that we can construct the different types of structures on a land, like residential, commercial, and agricultural purpose. And water quality, it consists of a different different polluted by fertilizers, nutrients. So we can know the what dissolved oxygen, pH, turbidity, and these factors. And climate conditions, either humidity will be more or less, temperature conditions, sunshine, and precipitation. And also social conditions, it acquire the employment of the pattern, and health conditions, production, farming systems. These are the comes under the basic data required for the development of a watershed management.